You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Cowboy Nation, welcome to the Gridiron Sports Podcast. I am your wonderful host for this evening, Majestic Sounds. Cowboy Nation, we are officially, mathematically out of the playoffs as of this past Saturday, not Sunday, but this past Saturday when the Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Washington Commanders. So since Saturday, we've been officially out of the playoffs, so it didn't even matter what we had have done Sunday, although we did lose against the Santiago Chargers, better known as the LA Chargers, in week 16. At home, I might add you, in Jerry's world. I remember the days when we were undefeated at home, and that wasn't long ago. That was 2023. But even with that, Cowboy Nation, I do want to say this here. Dak Prescott had a wonderful year. I'm glad he stayed healthy throughout the year, although one can argue our defense has been unhealthy, especially the secondary. But thank God we had our quarterback to see us through, and we only have 2 more games left this year. And I know, Cowboy Nation, since we are not officially in the playoffs, we have been knocked out of that. I know some of you probably don't care about football at this point, but please continue to support this channel, because I'm still going to be posting videos, I'm still going to be posting shorts, I'm still going to be making content for you guys. So continue to tune in, continue to watch them, and continue to give us the thumbs up. All right, Cowboy Nation, so let's talk a little bit about Matt Eberflus. All week long, everybody been talking about Matt Eberflus going up to the coach's box. Man, that's not gonna make any difference in this one game. If you cannot beat a team that is 5-8, and I'm talking about the Minnesota Vikings at home, we ain't talking about on the road, at home. So you couldn't beat Minnesota at home. What in the world going up to the coach's box gonna make any difference in this junction of the season against a LA Chargers team that's playing real good ball right now? So Cowboy Nation, we did start it out good, but unfortunately we end up losing. And I get it, Cowboy Nation, one can argue the defense is still unhealthy in the secondary, but come on, man, going up to the coach's box ain't gonna help you at all, man. Not at this point in the season. The season is pretty much over with. Now, I can see if you had done it maybe in week 4, week 5, something like that. But in week 16, it is way too late. So, Cowboy Nation, Matt Eberflus, like I told you, let's start looking for another coordinator.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
If I were to grade him, I would give him an F for this season. And I get it, like I just previously stated, I know our defense been hurt off and on. And one can argue Jerry Jones made the worst trade of the century, trading away Michael Parsons. And as the old songwriter said, now you got to clean up where you messed up. And so Jerry Jones attempted to clean up where he messed up. He brought in a Quentin Williams, a Logan Wilson, and the defense began to get healthy around the same time. All of that is cool, but baby, it just wasn't enough. So here we are, outside of the playoffs and looking in, wishing we were in. Cowboy Nation, let's go into the numbers. Let's go. All right, Cowboy Nation, so as I just stated, we lost this past week in week 16 at home, not on the road, at home in Jerry's world against the Santiago Chargers, better known as the LA Chargers, 34-17. And, you know, we started out pretty good. We were throwing the deep ball, and every good team make halftime adjustments. And, of course, they made halftime adjustments. And my only question to you is, how come we can't make halftime adjustments? And I don't care if they doing a deep cover too. It's ways to move those safeties. You can run routes. You can run dig routes. You can run a skinny post route, a regular post route, and you can move those safeties out the way and throw a deep ball to George Pickens, and maybe you can get a pass interference call. But if he don't catch the ball, at least the ball will go out of bounds. So you got to take shots down the field. I want to make sure I say that before I go into these numbers, Cowboy Nation. I'm just not really happy with the play calling these last few weeks. Sometimes we get too conservative with our play calling, and they were able to stop the run, which was surprising. Javonte Williams did not have a good game, so credit to their defense for that. But Cowboy Nation, play calling is essential in the National Football League. I just got to tell it like it is. Lately, Brian Schottenheimer has been very conservative with the play calling, trying to minimize turnovers. I get all of that. I understand you don't want any fumbles. I understand you don't want any interceptions, but you got to throw the ball out there. Maybe you can get a PI. Maybe you can get a pass interference. And then the route concepts. If you can run certain routes and move those safeties out the way, you won't have to worry about too many interceptions. So it's all about your play calling. It's all about the route concepts when you're talking about the scheme and schematics of things. So Cowboy Nation, second half, they may have time adjustments. Second half, we didn't. We became conservative. And of course, our defense is depleted in the secondary. All teams that's been playing this just continue to eat up and burn up our secondary. All right, Cowboy Nation. So let's look at the team statistics real quick. So total yards, of course, they won with 452 total yards to our 340. They won in the passing yards as well with 300. We had 249. And then, of course, in the rushing yards, they just demolished us with 152 to our 91. And yards per play, 7.3. I mean, that was on fire. Our defense just could not make plays all game long. We gave up big yardage, and we had 6.1 per play. They also won in the first downs. They had 24 first downs. We only had 18, and we still yet are suffering on third down efficiency. We were only 4 for 9, and they were 7 for 11, so they were better than us in that category. Fourth down efficiency really didn't matter. They only went for it one time. It didn't make it. And then total plays from them, 62 total plays, so they outdid us with that as well. We only had 56, and then we didn't get no pressure on the opposing team's quarterback. So it's like a broken record, Cowboy Nation. We still having the same problem again, Cowboy Nation. A lot of blame goes on Matt Eberflus, but in my humble opinion, a lot of that blame goes on Jerry Jones trading away Michael Parsons. And people like, when y'all gonna get over that? We are not gonna get over that. This guy led the league in pass rush. Do you hear me, Cowboy Nation? Do you hear me? And you're gonna trade him away, and now we don't have a legit consistent pass rush. How many games have I read off the statistics, read you guys the numbers, and it says no sacks? A lot of times this year we allowed 1 sack, but we didn't get any sacks. So kudos to the offensive line. They did do better this week. Last week we gave up too many sacks. This week was a little better, so that's cool. But ultimately speaking, if you can't get any pass rush on the opposing team's quarterback, he gonna sit back there and throw the ball down the field. With a weak secondary, he ain't finna throw to the tight end. He ain't finna check the ball down. He finna throw it downfield. And so that's what a good quarterback is gonna do. And so that's what they did. Justin Herbert was able to do. Penalties wasn't really a big deal. They only had 4 penalties. We only had 5 penalties. We did lose a fumble, but at the point, there was Joe Milton. He didn't cover the ball and protect the ball, and he ended up fumbling the ball. The game was out of reach at that point. And we also had ran out of time. Speaking of time, look at the time of possession. They won 34.27. We was 25.33, but again, we couldn't run the ball. So kudos to their defense, because one thing I will say about our offensive line, they do really good in run blocking, but not this past game, baby. The defense got a hold of them and got the best of them. And then of course tackles, we had 37 tackles. They had 30. We only kicked 1 field goal. They kicked 2 field goals, and we're still, somebody help me say, we're still struggling in the red zone.
He ain't lying.
We yet struggle in the red zone. We are 1 for 3 in this particular game in the red zone on offense. Then on defense, we was 2 for 4. So we're still struggling in the red zone on both sides of the ball, and that's highly unfortunate, Cowboy Nation, for us. We have 2 more games left, and most people are not even interested in these last 2 games because it's garbage games. at this point to most people, to most of you all, Cowboy Nation. But if we win those 2 games, we can arguably say we had a decent year. But in essence, in my humble opinion, if you don't make the playoffs, that ain't a good year. The standard is too high for the Dallas Cowboys. You talking about we got 5 championships. We done hoisted up the Lombardi Trophy 5 different times in our franchise. And so with that being said, this has been a disappointing year for us. Somebody said, I want to go outside in the rain. So Cowboy Nation, I'm not going to stay on here any longer. I just want you guys to continue to support this channel. Share it with your friends. Share it with your neighbor. Share it with a stranger. Share it with your significant other. And even your enemy. And maybe y'all will become cool after talking about the Dallas Cowboys. DC4 Alive.
Spartans, prepare for glory!
Majestic sound. Tell 'em, Jesus say, you should go and tweet that. Tell 'em, Jesus say, and tell 'em I'ma tweet back. Jesus saves, Jesus saves, Jesus saves. You should go and tweet that. Jesus saves, Jesus saves, Jesus saves. Tell 'em I'ma tweet back. I walk around my city with a smiley face, because I had a taste of this amazing grace. And I ain't selfish, homie, I'll give you some. Got it. I gotta spread this word until his kingdom comes. It's coming. I'm trying to reach the soul of the sinner man. What up? And we gon' spread it out like some cinnamon. What up? We took it to the north, Vancouver. What up? We put it on the track. Let's lose.